So today I'll be making spinach baked eggs and we'll be serving that with a paprika lemon yoghurt. It's a really great dish. It's super simple, really quick to come together, but you've got a really filling, substantial breakfast with the eggs and the yoghurt. So you've got great protein source, got your greens and the iron and the citrus in the lemon, which brings it all together. Okay, so first I'm going to be making the yoghurt. Here I have 200 grams of Greek yoghurt. I particularly like Greek. It's a lot thicker consistency, high protein content, it's just been strained. You are also able to use any kind of natural yoghurt that you want, whatever you've got available, or a dairy-free alternative if you wish. Okay, so firstly I'm going to be grating half a lemon zest into the yoghurt. So we'll just put that straight in. I'll just do it roughly. Just kind of continue until you reckon you've got about half the lemon's zest into the yoghurt. Then half a lemon juice. Okay, then I'm just going to give it a little mix it through. One of the reasons why it's good to have a traditional thick Greek yoghurt is because the lemon juice will thin it, so you don't want your yoghurt to be too thin, especially with the addition of the lemon juice. But again, it's personal preference, whatever you would like to do. So once that's all incorporated, I've here got a teaspoon of smoked paprika and a teaspoon of normal paprika. Just sprinkle a little bit of this on. We'll be sprinkling a bit over the main meal at the end as well, but just so it can kind of infuse with the yoghurt a little bit. So I've got this and we're going to be spooning this on top of the spinach and the eggs once it's come off the heat. Okay, so now I've got 2 garlic cloves. I'm just going to finely dice them and we will fry them until brown before we add the spinach, just for a bit of extra flavour. Okay, so I have heated up half a tablespoon of coconut oil in the pan. It's advisable to use a saucepan that can go into the oven. So here I've got a cast iron skillet. I like using a cast iron pan as you may be aware of the health concerns to do with Teflon and some of the non-stick coatings. So because this is completely just one material, it's a lot more beneficial health-wise. It's great to cooking on, it's a really even distribution of heat, and you can also have it on the hob and in the oven. And also you can get trace minerals of iron, which for vegetarians and vegans is always a great thing. So what I've done here is I'm heating up half a tablespoon of oil. Using coconut oil here. I like to fry with coconut oil as it's got one of the highest frying points of all the kind of cooking oils. So when you're cooking on a high heat, I'd advise that you use coconut oil. If you don't really like the flavour, these days you can get coconut oil which has been lightly steamed, and it's often called like a cuisine oil, and so that is a reduced kind of coconutty flavour. But it's up to you. I personally love the flavour and I think it adds a certain sweetness to the dishes. So if you like coconut oil, that's great. If not, standard vegetable oil would also be okay. So here I've heated the oil till it's quite warm, and then I'm going to add the garlic that we chopped and just lightly fry it until it's released its aroma and is lightly browned, just becoming crispy. So here we see that it's started to brown. Don't want it much more brown as it does turn quite quickly. So once you're at a level of light brown that you're happy with, just pop the spinach straight in. Make sure the garlic is all nicely mixed around, it's not just sitting at the bottom of the pan. But as I said, the water that is going to be released from the spinach will prevent it from browning anymore. So we'll just manage to infuse into the spinach and create a lovely garlicky flavour. Okay, so I've got about 150 grams of baby plum tomatoes. Just going to chop them roughly in half, or if they're rather large, chop them in thirds. Okay, once the spinach has started to wilt, I'm just going to add in the chopped tomatoes, just so that we can fry them off and they can begin to soften. Now we want to aim to reduce as much of the water as possible. So I'm going to put the tomatoes in before the spinach is completely wilted, so that they can soften and release some of their juices and it can all evaporate together, so that we're not left with a watery pile at the end. Continue to fry the spinach, and that will continue to wilt, and then the tomatoes should cook down also. So this should take maybe another 1 to 2 minutes, not too long. Okay, so what we want to do now is to ensure that we don't have much water sitting at the bottom of the pan. And that's dependent on how dry your spinach was after you wet it, how juicy your tomatoes are, how large the pan is, depending on how much spinach there actually is in there. So here I look to be pretty dry, most of it's evaporated, great. If you do find you've got quite a lot of excess spinach water, then just hold it over the sink and try and drain some of it off, or if you wanted to get some of the spinach you could squeeze some of the water out by hand. A little bit of juice is fine because we've got the tomato and the garlic and the spinach, so you've got all that flavour in there as well. But saying that, we want it to be relatively dry so the eggs are able to actually fry in there. Okay, so now I'm going to make 4 little holes just with the spoon. It's quite a rustic dish. I think it's quite nice not having everything completely perfect all the time. It's a lot more appetizing, I find. Here I'm just going to crack the eggs in one by one. And 4. So at this stage I'm going to add some salt and pepper, just sprinkle it over the top. I refrained from adding the salt any earlier as salt draws out water. So if I were to add into the spinach and tomato mixture, it would draw the water and make it that bit more difficult for us to either evaporate the water or pour it out. So this is the perfect stage now while everything is cooking and we're still kind of getting that heat from below, just to add a bit of salt and pepper to taste depending on how much you like. And a little bit of salt, however much you like, great. And that can continue cooking and the salt and pepper will penetrate and infuse for all the flavours. So now we're just waiting for the eggs to set. It's great if the whites are cooked but the yolks are still runny. But again, it's up to your personal taste. If you find your eggs aren't cooking as quickly as you'd like, and you can either pop the whole thing in the oven just to bake and then it will set nicely, or you can put a saucepan lid over the top just to kind of create a bit of heat from the from above so that the whites set perfectly. Sometimes it does work just on the hob, but if you're finding it's taking a little time and you're worried about some of the other items burning, either put a lid on or pop it in the oven for, I'd say, 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil onto the yoghurt mixture, and then we're going to spoon the yoghurt mixture onto the eggs and add a little bit more of the paprika mix that we made and some chili flakes. Spoon this on. As I said before, it's quite a rustic meal. It's a nice sharing platter as well. It's nice just to bring it out to the table like this, and then people can serve themselves. So a little bit more paprika, some chili flakes, and here we have it. Spinach and tomato baked eggs with a lemon and paprika yoghurt with some chili flakes. A wonderful brunch or breakfast. Enjoy!